Okay, so today we're starting our biology unit, and we're going to start off by looking at the differences in plant and animal cells and what the similarities are between the two types of cells. But first, we're going to talk a little bit about cell theory. Okay, and cell theory is made up of 3 points that pretty much sums up everything there is to know about cells, or everything that there is about cells. Okay, the first one is all living things are made up of one or more cells. So it doesn't matter if it's a plant, a worm, a human, we're all made up, a bacteria cell, okay? We're all made up of one or more cells. One cell, we're called unicellular, and two cells, or two or more cells, or one or more cell, is called multicellular. Human beings were multicellular organisms. Pretty much all mammals, plants, amphibians, every species really is a multicellular organism except for except for specific um, what's it called, like specific bacteria organisms, things like that. Okay. The second is the cell is the simplest unit that can carry out all life processes. Okay, so the cell is the smallest unit that can carry out life processes. It can generate energy for itself. It can take in things. It produces waste. Okay, it's the simplest unit that can carry out all of life processes. Okay, and it can reproduce. Okay, number three is all cells come from pre-existing cells. Okay, it's not like a cell just forms out of nowhere. Cells come from pre-existing cells. The cells in your body are reproducing all the time. You have billions of cells in your body, okay? And with those billions of cells create progeny, okay? And these progeny allow you to continue to live for an extended period of time. If we were stuck with the same cells that we had when we were at birth, then there would be no, you wouldn't be alive, okay? Because those cells die, different cells die at different ages. Okay, so before those ages, they have a cell life and they create progeny or regenerate themselves. Okay, you would have watched this video already. Okay, this introductory video, it's on prokaryotic and eukaryotic organisms, and we'll cover that in a little bit more detail in a second. Okay, so organisms can be classified on whether their cells have a nucleus and organelles or not. But what is an organelle? Well, an organelle is a specialized part within a cell that has a particular function. It has a job to do. An organelle is a unit within the cell that has a job to carry out. So if you think of a cell like a factory, okay, you have different machines in the factory. An organelle is really just a machine that does a specific job. Maybe one machine is to create a long protein sequence. Another gene is to chop that protein sequence, or another organelle is to chop that protein sequence in half, so that you have two. Now you have two proteins as opposed to just one long one. Okay, so an organelle is like a machine that's in the cell and it does a specific job for the cell. Okay, so prokaryotic cells are found in unicellular organisms. These cells do not contain a nucleus or a membrane-bound organelles. Okay, an example of prokaryotic is a bacterial cell. Okay, bacterial cell have DNA just located in the middle of their cytoplasm. They have ribosomes here. These create proteins. Okay, and it has a flagellum, which is like a tail, to allow it to move. Okay, so prokaryotic are unicellular organisms with no nucleus and a few different what's it called? A few different organelles. Okay, they have cytoplasm, nucleoids, DNA, plasma membranes, a cell wall. Okay, pilus, they have ribosomes, flagellum. Again, they all do something. All these organelles do something for the cell. They carry out a specific function or a job for that cell. Eukaryotic cells are found in more complex organisms and contain a membrane-bound nucleus, contain a membrane-bound organelles and nucleus. Okay, this could be fungi, plants, animals. Okay, we are eukaryotic organisms. So in summary, organization of cells in living things, you have unicellular organisms. Okay, unicellular organisms is made up of a single cell. Okay, they can be prokaryotic unicellular, or they can be eukaryotic unicellular. Okay, organism cells, a prokaryotic organism's cells have no nucleus or membrane-bound organelles. They are just floating inside the middle of a capsule, like that bacteria I showed you. Or eukaryotic organism cells contain both nucleus and organelles. Okay, so you have unicellular, which can be prokaryotic or eukaryotic. Then you have multicellular. Multicellular organisms made up of more than one cell, such as humans or plants or animals. Okay, these multicellular organisms can only go into eukaryotic types of cells. Okay, so these organism cells contain both nucleus and organelles as well. Okay, so multicellular, only eukaryotic. Unicellular can be both prokaryotic or eukaryotic. And that's it. All right, thanks. We'll see you guys later.